Alignment, a position of agreement or alliance. And I want to talk about alignment today with regard to oneself. So, hi, I'm Lucy, aligned peak performance coach. I use this a lot in what I do, and I have gone from being a peak performance coach to a holistic peak performance coach to an aligned peak performance coach. Same thing, right? It's still me doing what I do. But I truly feel that alignment matters. And so the alignment within oneself, when you can feel that you're not kind of off center, that's the way that I always used to feel if something wasn't quite right. It felt like it was kind of crooked, like it, with your back, with your spine, if it just feels there's one or two vertebrae that aren't in line, and that's how it felt. It just felt off, it felt uncomfortable. And so if you have that image and you ask yourself, am I feeling aligned? You'll know if you tap in to thinking really deeply about how you're feeling. And it can be that you're not feeling aligned with your job. It can be that you're not feeling aligned with your partner or people in your family. And then digging deeper and asking yourself the questions and getting curious about why. What's the reason that I don't feel aligned? So maybe it's because I'm not being given enough to do at work. I'm not feeling like I have got that autonomy that I need to do what I want to do in the way I want to do it. I'm not allowed to be creative at work. So it doesn't feel aligned. It feels off because I'm always being told what to do. And I'm never given any wiggle room to go, I think this would be better. And people don't listen. And that can be very frustrating. And you feel out of alignment with that. The same goes for what we value and what our strengths are. If we're not using those strengths, if we're not understanding the values that are not in alignment with the other person, then we feel off again. It's like, oh, that just doesn't feel right for some reason. I don't agree with that person. Well, let me get curious and find out what that thing is. Because when we get curious, and curious is a great thing for peak performance, curiosity is, it's leads to understanding. Hopefully it leads to, at least it leads to more understanding. So if you're curious about something, you start to do research. If you're curious about something, you ask questions. If you're curious about something, you get into different kinds of conversations, and with those conversations you get different answers. And so that's why it's important to be curious. And then the importance of being aligned is that once you have all of those things in place, you're able to communicate better. You're working with your strengths. You've got that autonomy. You've got your values in alignment with somebody else, the ones that matter the most, not the whole lot of them. It feels so much better. And you can work in a much more peaceful manner and you feel more power. And so when we feel that, it's amazing. From the way that I was feeling and that kind of off center feeling to now feeling total alignment with what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and the people that I'm working with, that's huge. There are other ways that one might be out of alignment. You might be out of alignment with your abundance and you're making lots of money and it's rolling in, but you haven't got the fulfillment there. You haven't got the fulfillment. It's like, yes, the money's coming in, but I don't really feel fulfilled by that. What is that? Is it the way that it's coming in? Is it where it's coming in from? Is it because you don't feel like you've done enough to receive that? What is that thing that's out? So again, get really curious and see if that alignment with abundance is there in place. And if it's not, how might you find a way to get it in place? And then we have the vision. Is your vision aligned with what you truly want to have? And I remember looking at my vision and thinking, I don't see very far down that road. This is at one point in my life. I don't see very far down that road. And so, is that really the road I want to go down? Is that really my vision? And it turned out that it was the vision of what others held for me. And so I wasn't totally in alignment. Yes, it was, I wanted to get so far, but I didn't want to get as far as they were perhaps projecting for me to get. And so I got part way to where I wanted to, and somewhere along the way, things changed. Life changes, right? So again, allowing for that. And I don't think personally I got curious enough about that change of vision. What was that? What was the change about? Was it something that happened to me? Was something that I was going through? Did I just have a realization that I wasn't connecting to? So that's why I am sharing with you to get curious, because I can see times in my life and areas that I wasn't leaning into that curiosity. And when I look back, I think it would have been a really good thing if I had leaned into curiosity. And so I feel for me, I'm so much more curious and I'm getting better answers coming back by being curious. So sometimes it's, if it is about the abundance side, and I'm looking at, I'm doing lots of things, right? I'm doing lots of things. I'm still not quite as abundant as I'd like to be. I'm abundant and I can see the abundance everywhere. And I look at the abundance. I'm looking out my windows here. I see the abundant leaves on the trees. I see the abundant branches on the trees whose leaves have fallen. I see, and breathe in. I don't see, but I breathe in the abundant air. I see it. I see what it's doing. It's blowing the leaves off the trees, right? So I can see the what it's doing. So I can understand about abundance. That's there. Nature is abundant all the time. And so having that knowledge, having the time to contemplate on those sorts of things as well is really something that I take much more time in doing now. So if I can shorten your gap between I'm feeling out of alignment, actually start to ask yourself the great questions of where do I feel out of alignment? What can I start to do about it? What questions might I ask? How curious can I get? And then pulling those things together so that you get back into alignment far quicker than I have done in the past. So, my offer to you is to get curious with yourself. And if you are wanting to get more in alignment with your peak performance, with both sides of you, with all the sides of you, right? What is out of alignment? Then you are welcome to have a call and we can talk that through and then see if we're a fit to work together. That would be amazing. So if you're sitting at that point thinking, I just need to know these things, I just feel like something is off center and not quite right, and I need to speak to somebody about this, then if you feel that I'm the right person, get in touch. We'll have an inquiry call and then we can move forward from there. So there will be another video coming up on screen. I'll see you over there. Do give this a thumbs up if it's helped you, and take care. Have the most awesome day. Bye for now.